Hello there, it is Crispy Bacon here, and today I have got some football trivia. Feel free to leave your answers in the comments whilst I answer the questions. I've got one on the EPL promoted clubs, and I've got one about Match Week 1 and Match Week 2 in the top 5 leagues. So let's kick it off. Who was Leicester City's top goal scorer when they won the Premier League title? That was Jamie Vardy. If I could type. Jamie Vardy. Which team did Southampton beat in the 2023-24 Championship playoff final? I watched it live with my dad. My dad wanted Leeds to win, and unfortunately they lost, so it was Leeds United, who left Ipswich to become England manager in 1982. Now that is a bit of a tougher question. Obviously, I don't really know too much about football back in the 80s, but I think I might be able to guess. I want to put Terry Venables, but I don't really know what to put. Do I just go with a random manager from the 80s, or do I just go for someone that I could just guess? You know what? I might as well guess. And hold the phone, I have just had a thought. I just had to nip to the toilet, and then I realised, isn't it Sir Bobby Robson? Not Benny, Bobby. Bobby Robson. Which team did Leicester beat in the 2021 FA Cup final? I nearly said Chelsea. It was a thunder strike from Yuri Tielemans. I watched it during COVID. It shocked me. And Chelsea lost a trophy. Who is the only player to have scored 100 Premier League goals for Southampton? That would be Matt Le Tissier. Which future Scotland manager was in charge for Ipswich's 2 Premier League relegations? I don't know why, but I'm just going to put Steve Clarke. I don't have a clue, so I'm just going to guess him. Which player won the Premier League with Leicester City in 2016 and lifted the trophy again the following season? That would be N'Golo Kante. With which team did Southampton manager Russell Martin make 125 Premier League appearances for? Well, Russell Martin might... I don't... let's have a think. He might have played for Southampton itself, Swansea, because he managed them. But why do I feel like he played for Norwich? I'm going to put Norwich. It's a blind guess. Well, not a blind guess, but which multiple Serie A title winners knocked him out of the UEFA Cup that season for Ipswich's last season in the top flight? I'm going to go with AC Milan. Which former England striker was Leicester City's top Premier League scorer when they were relegated in the 2003-2004 season? Well, this is one of the questions that could have been Leicester top scorer. Well, this was the same season that... what's it called? The same season that Arsenal went invincible, if I'm not wrong. And I think it might have been Les Ferdinand, if I can spell. Les Ferdinand, who has managed both Southampton and England. Gareth Southgate. I think he managed Southampton at some point. Which midfielder has played in all of Ipswich's Premier League matches this century and scored for Ireland at the 2002 World Cup? Now that is one that I do not know. I don't know. I'm trying to think of Irish Ipswich players. And all I'm thinking of, maybe Daryl Murphy or Keith Andrews. I'll go with Keith Andrews. He's not in there. So I'll go with Daryl Murphy. Not in there either. Well, that's brilliant. none of the players that I thought it could be are not here. What about maybe Owen Garvin? No, not on there. Damien Delaney, that's the last player I can think of. In that case, I know I'm not going to get it right, so I'll just put Roy Keane. So we got 8 out of 12 correct. And unfortunately, we did not get some of the questions correct. So let's have a look at the correct answers. So as you can see, that one, the number 6, number 11 and number 12 I did not know, and number 9 I was just on the wrong side of Milan. Let's go to get the Game Week 1 quiz now. So this is the top divisions in England, Italy, Spain, France and more kicked off this weekend. There were goals galore, red cards, debuts and plenty to write about. But how much attention were you paying? It's time to take our quiz. So question 1. Which team did Robert Lewandowski score twice for Barcelona? And now then, Barcelona, they won their game 2-1 against Athletic Club. That was not the game, I do not think. That was match week 2. Instead, they beat Valencia. Sorry, I am just very, very passionate about my top 5 leagues. Which debutant scored the first goal of the 2024-2025 Premier League season? That would be Joshua Zirkzee. If I can find his name, there we are. Which Olympic medalist assisted a goal on his competitive Bayern Munich debut? Now then, Bayern Munich could have been Moroccan, he could have been French, or he could have been Spanish. So let's have a think. It will be in the DFB Pokal, I think, because the Bundesliga at the time of recording, their game has not kicked off Bayern Munich. And I am actually going to go for... I literally do not know. I don't even know. I couldn't tell you. Literally couldn't tell you. However, I'm going to go with Michael Elise because he's the only French person. And yeah, which team did Eric Lamela make his debut for? Well, I think I can remember that. I swear he made his debut for AEK Athens. And I'm going to go with AEK Athens. Which World Cup winner scored in Paris Saint-Germain's win over Le Havre? Well then, World Cup winner against Le Havre. I'm going to go with Ousmane Dembele. Number 6, international players from which country scored for Brighton, Celtic and Monaco this weekend? Well, that is a very tough question because it might have been anyone because there were 3 goal scorers for Brighton, but the only one that stands out for me is Japan. Which player scored the first Premier League goal at Portman Road since 2002? Well, that would obviously be in the Ipswich v Liverpool game, where I do believe it was Diego Jota to open the scoring for Liverpool. Diego... Oh, I can't type. Diego Jota. Have I spelled his name right? Oh, it's Diogo. Antonio Conte lost his first Serie A match as Napoli head coach to which team? Now, Napoli were very, very unfortunate in that game. The result actually ended for them, and it wasn't the Coppa Italia game, where they beat Modena, but it was actually them losing 3-0 to Hellas Verona. Fourth tier Spartans knocked which Premiership side out of the Scottish League Cup? Well then, Spartans. Ooh, let's have a think. My initial instinct would be someone like Hibs. However, Ross County are a bad side, so I'm going to go with them, who scored a penalty against his former club in Lazio's win against Venezia. Well, let's me think. The Venezia. Well, I think it would have to be Zaccagni. He's the only player I can think of that currently plays for Lazio and played for Venezia. And then Jan van der Ver scored a winning goal for which team against Ajax? Ooh, Ajax. Losing again. Well, that's sad, isn't it? It's very, very sad to see a terrible team lose. And I'm going to go with NAC. I can't remember. I think it was... I don't know. Is it NEC Breda? Well, it has to be. And then in Denmark, FC Copenhagen, and which other team are yet to lose a Superliga match? Well, I don't really know. I'm just trying to think of top Danish teams, if you get what I mean. So I'm going to go with if I can get it, Midtjylland. And I got 12 out of 12. So yeah, now let's go on to the Match Game Week 2 quiz. The major European leagues are up and running. This week, the Bundesliga kicks off, joining the likes of Premier League, Serie A and Ligue 1. We've put together a quiz ahead of the weekend's fixtures. How much do you know about the big matches? It's time to find out. And it is now time to find out if I can go 12 and 12 back-to-back quizzes. So without no further ado, let's start the quiz. Well then, Nuri Sahin will take charge of his first Bundesliga match as head coach of which team? That is Borussia Dortmund. In Ligue 1, it's PSG versus Montpellier. Which French international career record reads PSG, Liverpool, Crystal Palace, Montpellier, Torpedo Kutaisi? That would be Mamadou Sakho. He played for Liverpool, then Crystal Palace, then Montpellier. That's how I remembered it. Sander Berge could make his Fulham debut against Leicester this weekend. For which country does Berge play international football? That will be Norway. He is Norwegian. The Rotterdam derby takes place in the Eredivisie. Which current Sparta midfielder played more than 100 times for Feyenoord? Now then, Sparta midfielders to play for Feyenoord. It's a very, very tough. I reckon it's... this is actually one of the ones that I do not know. Wow. I think I'm going to have to go with Mike... No, he's not in here for some reason. I do not know. Let's just think of Sparta Rotterdam midfielders first of all. And then we can go from there. Well, I do not really know who to go for here. Well, they do have a load of midfielders, so I need to think. And I need to think fast, because I don't really want to be the one that takes, so long to answer questions. So if I think... they're a midfielder that currently plays for Sparta. Could it be Jonathan de Guzman? I think it might have been Jonathan de Guzman. I'm going to go with Jonathan de Guzman. Last season's third and fourth placed La Liga teams, Girona and Atletico Madrid, play each other this weekend. Which team finished fifth? The fifth team from La Liga last season. I have an instinct it was Real Sociedad, but let's just think. I think it was close between Real Sociedad and Athletic Bilbao. I'm actually going to go with Bilbao. I think they would have been better. Which former Premier League manager will be in Marseille's home dugout for the first time? Marseille manager. Who is it, do you think? It's Roberto De Zerbi, obviously. I spoke about him in another video. Roberto De Zerbi joining Marseille. Juventus travelled to Verona. Which player joined Juve from Verona this summer? Well then, let me just have a very, very quick think. Because it's not rocket science to see that it was obviously Juan Cabal. Because, yeah, Pedro Neto returns to Wolves as a Chelsea player, who is the only other player to play for both teams within the last 10 years. Well then, Chelsea players to play for Wolves. That is a very, very big question. Who is it, do you think? Well, there's Pedro Neto, and there is, as well, Michael, if I can spell, Michael, Manciens. But he is not in the game. So this is the first question where I don't actually know. This is one of the questions that I don't have a clue. I'm going to skip it for now. 5 teams have won their opening 2 matches in Portugal's Primeira Liga. Which club has the best goal difference ahead of this weekend's fixtures? Let me have a little bit of a think. Well, after 2 matches, I think it would have been Sporting. So let's go with Sporting. Sporting, is it CP? Sporting CP? I think it will be Sporting CP. And elect host Mechelen in the Pro League. Which Belgian team played a Champions League qualifier at Anderlecht's home stadium last week? Belgium teams. It's a very tough question, and I don't even know what to say. Another question where I do not know, so I'm just going to have to guess a random Belgian team. And I don't know. I'll go Antwerp. In Brazil, which team will be hoping to defend the only remaining unbeaten Serie A home record when they host Corinthians? Corinthians. They have lost many of their players to Premier League side Corinthians. And I reckon it will be Fluminense. And we end our quiz in Spain. Which team will be aiming to earn their first Liga points since 2023 this weekend? Let's have a think. Maybe it could be Alaves. No, it will be Espanyol. Not Alaves. Alaves has already played there. Pedro Neto returns to Wolves as a Chelsea player, who is the only other player to play for both teams within the last 10 years. Well then, I'll go. Oh, I'm stupid. Of course, it's Diego Costa. I got 10 out of 12. Antwerp and Fluminense were incorrect. Let's have a look at the answers before I end the video. So let's just wait for the answers to pop up. I don't know why it's just popped up with an advert. Hold up. Oh, it was Union St. Gallen and Fortaleza. Well then, thank you for watching this trivia video. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you around in the next video.